Yes. So you do need multiple income streams. I'm not denying that. But the way in which you get to that might be controversial. See, a lot of times when people want to start a business, make online money, they want to have 20 business ideas and they're going to work on all 20 ideas at once. But all that does is overwhelm you. All that does is keep you stagnant because you are spreading yourself too thin and you have absolutely no experience with entrepreneurship at all and you're trying to start 20 different businesses. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jasmine. I'm so glad to have you. So the way in which you build multiple streams of income, it's one at a time, okay? And once they start flourishing, then you start the next one. But you can only do that through developing consistency, meaning you do the same thing every single day, no matter how boring it gets. You can only do that through discipline, meaning even if you're not getting the results that you want right now, you still have to show up. You can only build multiple streams of income through confidence, recognizing that you're that girl, okay, and you're going to get it done, and really embodying that, feeling that, and knowing that with your soul. And when you first start entrepreneurship, 9 times out of 10, you don't have none of that. You might say you do, you might be a little consistent, right? Like you are consistent with going to work, but try being consistent, showing up for something and you're not making shit. Or try showing up being consistent and you're in the negatives. You're using credit cards to live because your business is making no money, okay? And listen, I'm not here to, try to convince you not to be an entrepreneur. I think it's the best thing I've ever done for myself. But what I am saying is to get to multiple streams of income today, I had to lock in on one thing at a time. I had to build the reps, meaning I had to keep showing up every single day. I had to start figuring out what was working for that particular thing, what was not, making changes. I had to get better at running that type of business. I had to learn how am I going to scale this business. And then once I figured those things out, now I got this business going, I got assistance, whatever. Now I can start putting energy into the next thing, right? And I literally started doing that in 2024. So if you did not know, I've been a full-time entrepreneur for 6 years. I started during COVID in 2020, and I started with OnlyFans. And OnlyFans took me several years to figure out because when I first got into that, the economy was hot, right? Everybody was spending money. People were getting stimulus checks. That's what I was using to build my OnlyFans business in the first place. People were getting unemployment. Like the economy was just hot. Everybody just had money to blow, okay? And so when I came in, like people were just tipping, spending, and I was making crazy amounts of money I never even thought I could ever make in life, right? I'm making that on like month 3 and 4 of entrepreneurship. But when the economy chilled out, right? All that money I was making, I wasn't making it anymore. Okay, so it actually forced me to learn how to truly run a business because if I didn't figure it out and quickly, then I would have been back at a 9 to 5 because I was going down, right? Income wise. And so I had to learn marketing. I had to really learn how to create content. I had to really learn these other platforms. When I first started OnlyFans, I was only using Twitter and I was using Instagram. I wasn't on YouTube. I wasn't on TikTok. I wasn't on Twitch. I wasn't on any of those platforms, right? But now I know what I have to do, right? So I had to learn that I have to post all the time on multiple platforms, right? I had to learn that I have to create content that I can sustain, meaning you could have all the most amazing ideas ever, right? But if you can't stay consistent with that, it doesn't matter how good the idea is because nothing's going to come of it. And if I was going to be creating content all the time, I had to make sure I was creating content in something that I would love to show up for at least most of the time, right? There are going to be days where you don't feel like doing anything. And so I found weight loss and fitness because I was on a weight loss and fitness journey at that time. So the point that I'm making is I had to learn all of that when my OnlyFans had to become a real business, when I had to figure out how to make money even though people are struggling with finances, right? I had to really lock in on marketing, which is something I didn't have when I first started OnlyFans about 1.5 years prior. Once I developed that knowledge, then I learned that I can't be a one woman show. I need to hire people to help me as I grow. So I took all of that knowledge and my OnlyFans started making more money. And then I decided to add a coaching business to my mix because I've self-developed over the years. I love making mindset and motivational content. I love sharing the things that I've implemented in my own life to become the woman I am today. And I wanted to share that with people. So I had to learn, well, what kind of product could I even sell in regards to that in the first place, which I have Glow Up Academy. I had to learn how to promote it. I had to learn how to run TikTok lives because I wasn't even on TikTok till I started this for real. There were so many things I had to learn, which was going to take me away from OnlyFans, right? I can't be in two places at once, okay? So I had my setup already with OnlyFans, and I was able to step away from OnlyFans while still generating income to build my coaching business. Once I started to get the flow of that, now I'm like, okay, well, how can I slowly start bringing myself back into OnlyFans? So the point I'm making is, that's just like a little rundown of me, but the point that I'm making is, yes, you need multiple streams of income, of course, because you're gonna have some months where one might do better than another. Like I have multiple OnlyFans pages. I have all of my platforms are monetized now. So I have all these streams of income, but they didn't happen all at once. It happened through repetition and locking in on one solid idea for an extended period of time, giving time to work and making that income. And now I can shift to adding to the portfolio. A lot of people aren't operating like that who want to start businesses. You're just trying to start 20 different things at once. It's slow and steady, and we have to pace ourselves so that we don't burn out. And then also you have to learn on the process, but you can't learn if you're not giving all of your energy to one specific thing, right? You become very disorganized, and again, you get overwhelmed. One thing I've noticed, even with myself, when I start to feel overwhelmed with things, then I don't do anything. Like, cause I'm like, well, there's no point. Like, I'm not gonna have time to do this and this and this and this. I start to feel overwhelmed. And so I spend more time kind of like, I wouldn't say down in the dumps, but just kind of like, dang, like this isn't gonna work. Then I could have been just locking in on one idea and not allowing myself to feel overwhelmed with that one thing. So creating like a priority checklist, like, well, what's the first thing you would like to start? Like, the very first thing, or if it's not necessarily the first thing you want to start, what do you think you'd be able to bring in some type of income more quickly, right? While the other things may take longer. And so you have to start with one thing. And I know I tell you guys, if you've tuned into my lives, I've said like, you know, be on multiple platforms at once, grow multiple platforms at once, but start on one. But just know you have to add at least two more into the mix. So when I first started, I was on Instagram and then I added Twitter. Well, for you, maybe you really want to be on YouTube. So start the YouTube. And then once you get consistent with posting your videos, now add a second platform into the mix. Then once you get consistent with posting on those two, well, then add that third one. You don't have to literally start building them at the same time, but you do need at least three. But as you keep showing up for one, you're building that repetition muscle, that consistency muscle, which is then going to carry you into adding something else into your routine, okay? But you do need multiple streams of incomes. Because like I said, you'll have some months where maybe your YouTube isn't getting as many views as previous months, so you're not making as much in Google AdSense. Maybe you sold more of a certain product one month than the previous month. So things are consistently shifting. But if you have multiple streams of income, well, one makes up for the other, right? But something else too, to take it even further, is just learning how to save money. I am someone, I've always been like this, but I was someone, especially at the beginning of OnlyFans, like as soon as I made money, I would go spend it. But not necessarily just on like consumer things, material things, but also like putting it right back into the business. And there's nothing wrong with that. You should be putting money back into your business. The problem was my living expenses were so high that I didn't have enough money to put back into my business to grow it even more. And I definitely didn't have enough money to save because I was living above my means. So you have to become financially literate on your entrepreneurial journey. You have to learn how to live under your means on your entrepreneurial journey. You have to learn how to invest your money on your entrepreneurial journey and be comfortable with the fact that you are throwing money into something, hoping to get a return, but you may not see that return for years to come, and being okay with it. And you have to become comfortable with, or you have to learn how to save money. Because if you do have months that aren't good, well, at least you know you still got your rent, right? At least you know you still got your car payment, or you still have the things that's gonna allow you to live, right? So I used to be embarrassed to say that, but I feel like a lot of people, at least at some point, not all, but I believe a lot of people struggle with knowing how to manage their money. If they didn't, Klarna and Afterpay wouldn't be as big as it is, right? But it's not really something that a lot of people, I think, are taught growing up. And social media doesn't make it any better. Social media doesn't make it any better because every time you turn around, especially on TikTok, like there's always something to buy. And so you find yourself just buying stuff. You don't even realize how much you're spending. You find yourself going out to eat all the time, right? You don't even realize how much you're spending. But when you can build a business and have multiple streams of income and you're not stressed about money, I honestly believe you sell more. At least I do. I don't know about you, but I feel like I do. When I feel like, I know I do. Because I became more grounded on the whole journey of building multiple streams of income, building that confidence, that self-belief that I need in order to save money, in order to understand why I'm doing this in the first place, which at least I only got through slowly building multiple streams of income. So yes, it's important, you need it, but don't try to do 30 things at once because it's not going to go anywhere. Pick your most favorite idea. Pick the idea that you would be the most comfortable with waiting for income, profit, and then go with that one. And then once you start getting into the flow, you see how you move. Now you're bringing in some money. You're expanding slowly but surely. Then you can add the next. And don't just make it a completely different thing. Still keep it towards that. So, okay, for instance, I have multiple OnlyFans pages. But I also have a YouTube channel that's dedicated just for the OnlyFans. I have other ways that they can purchase things in regards to OnlyFans type of content, right? So I have multiple streams of income within that community, within that audience, within that niche of my business, right? With this business, I have multiple streams of income within this niche. Like this YouTube channel is monetized. I have Glow Up Academy. I have Become a Creator ebook. Like I have multiple streams of income within the coaching niche that I'm in, right? Mindset, whatever you want to call it. So there's two separate businesses, but there's all the products and things that I could sell are within that, right? So figure out what that may be for you, your goals, like what other things do you see yourself selling? I always tell you guys, well, at least in Glow Up Academy, make sure you don't sleep on subscription-based services. Do not sleep on subscription-based services, private communities. I've made a lot of money with that. Always try to figure out, even though people hate subscriptions, I'm telling you from the entrepreneurial side, the business side, subscriptions, that is a great way to add more income into your business. Some type of subscription, something. So don't sleep on that. But figure out how you could do that too. So now you have all these streams of income within this one business umbrella. Leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Do you want to start an online business? Do you already have multiple streams of income? I'd love to read what you guys have to say. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all in my next video. Bye.